Happy to present to you today. Looking forward to it. You know, this has been a project that has been ongoing for 2 years, a partnership from 2 years. We actually met here at RetailSpaces, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, so proof that the concept works, you know. We've done the speed dating for a number of years, and what a great relationship we've managed to have come out of this.
In 2024 in Austin, and had the opportunity to meet SLD and Rich, and who knew we'd be standing on the stage almost 2 years later talking about some of the success we had. One PSA I want to say about RetailSpaces, at least from a client point of view or a retail point of view, is what I really enjoyed about Rich and SLD is when I sat down, he had already done research about who WSS was, and he had a clear idea, at least had some opinions on what our pain points were. And I really appreciated that. And I was like, okay, there's something here. Like he clearly, what next slide is he put in the work to win the work, and it was immediate. And we were already really far down the path with another agency, and decided to pull out of that and say, you know what, Rich, let's make this happen. So glad you did. Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you.
It stands for Warehouse Shoe Store. We are primarily located in the Southwest United States with about 70 stores in Los Angeles. Been in business for 40 years. When I came in 2.5 years ago with the leadership team, we said we need to modernize this brand. About 4.5 years ago, we've come in and said we really need to do some things differently. Obviously, the biggest part of this is what our stores look like.
It was like a C-store of footwear, right? Every
Easy
lineal foot, had a product, and it was stacked from floor to ceiling, as you can see in these photos. That's great. There's great inventory there. You've got a size in every SKU, but the problem is that customers can't navigate it. You know, you've got families shopping together. It's really easy to lose a kid.
It was a classic stack it high and let it fly model. So we really kept it to, you know, store design through a human lens. And what those senses are. And so we came up with these 5 pillars that we have to remain true to. A really interesting data point we pulled out when we were analyzing this is our gondolas were about 5 foot tall. And then we said the average age of our shopper, the mom shopping with her kids, was about 5'1" to 5'2". So at the end of the day, like our gondolas were as tall as our primary shopper. Like we got to bring those down. And it was really built on function. Why they're so high is because say, hey, open stock, you got to be 9 high because that's how sizing works.
So when we looked at defining success, you know, we put it through our lens, and this is my only company serving slide. You know, we use this analogy of think blink. You have a split second to engage your customers, to get them to come to your store, to activate on your brand, and that is done emotionally. You know, when you're driving down the highway and you see blue out the corner of your eye, you realize there's a Best Buy nearby, right? If you see orange, you're probably thinking Home Depot. What can WSS do to kind of create a similar effect? So we've created and leveraged this red on the exterior. We've got the 6 main sub-brands that sit below that. I talk about moments of pause. Gabe just brought that up. You know, again, with this merchandising of every lineal foot, it's like reading a chapter in a book. You know, there needs to be just a pause where I can set myself up, absorb what I just saw, and then move on to the next chapter. It's important to get the customer where they want to go to. So we spent a lot of time looking at the ideal customer journey. We mapped that out against the different personas of how they would shop the store and create that racetrack. And quite literally, we have a racetrack in the middle of the store that gets you through and efficiently helps you align to the department.
And there's method to the madness here. What we found is like men, that's our primary category. It's most of what we spend. Men shop work. So do women. They also shop work. So there's some connectivity there, but women also shop in kids. And so we have that connectivity there. Kids shop the team zone. So there's a thoughtfulness on how all of these why all these are adjacent, how they bleed together, pulling this into the future. We chose this site, which is in Inglewood. If I'm standing in front of this store, I can see SoFi Stadium. And if I peek over a competitor, I can see Intuit Dome as well. So we want it to really stand out at night whenever the blimp's flying over SoFi in certain games. You can actually see the store. So we want it to make it really pop and, again, modernize what we do from a store exterior standpoint and be able to apply this at scale on every store going forward.
You know, I also say that even when the store is closed, it's selling. So if somebody sees this after hours, they're going to make a point of coming back here tomorrow because they want to see what it's all about. So that whole front of the store glows because we've created it and turned it into a giant sign box.
So the results. I'll start with how much does this cost? This is neutral to what we spent prior. This is cost neutral, which allows us to go quicker. On a refresh basis or a remodel basis, it's actually lower than what it would cost us to do a legacy refresh because of all the things that we've inherited or all the things that we've developed here. In terms of how this store has performed over the last 9 months, it's double-digit comps from where it was prior. It beats the fleet on sell-through. It beats the fleet on conversion. It beats the fleet on basically every measurable store measure that we measure by, and with our customer. And what we've seen from an NPS score is fine, right? I think NPS it's falling in line with where we see for the rest of the fleet, but the difference here is on the NPS score, we have 50 or more % comments every week, right? People are stopping to make a comment about the store staff, what the store looks like, their experience, and 98% of those have been overwhelmingly positive. And so we're nowhere onto something here because we've really obsessed that customer. These are still our customers. We're also seeing a new customer base re-engage with us or come shop with us that haven't shopped with us as a result of this project.